we came to San Juan, we were very concerned about the health care that people were not receiving, and particularly just the crisis after the hurricane. So many of us brought whatever we could obtain and seek donations for on our own. People brought lots of stuff with them.
I'm coming to help any way I can to the people of Puerto Rico in this NISA effort.
A lot of people cannot get medical care, and they're really depending on outside help to come and provide some resources.
My parents were born there, and just looking at the pictures and everything was just so shocking and overwhelming. You know, I just feel like you have to do something.
I was just amazed when nurses came. We had 21 nurses and doctors, several doctors included, getting off the plane with boxes and boxes and boxes of medical supplies, boxes of medications, boxes of a whole variety of things. And it was really great when they were coming off the plane. You know, we cheered them on. We met this guy in the waiting area for the airplane, and he started singing. We all started singing. And it was just a really joyous moment, receiving the nurses, and then going to the UGT offices and going through all the medical supplies, just trying to sort everything out. And everybody hit the ground running, divided up into 4 groups spontaneously, picked out the things that they needed. We made 4 separate packets, 4 separate boxes of materials. We were all set to go. We divided up. Thank goodness we had the Transit Workers Union, local TW 100, provided us with vans and drivers and jeeps, and we were off. One group toward Ponce, they were staying in Juanadías, and then another group toward Las Piedras. Another group stayed in San Juan, but they were scheduled to go to Luisa and Canóvana and other areas, and then our group went to Barranquitas. Barranquitas is very hard to get to. Many of the roads are out. I mean, they just don't exist. The highways are gone. Bridges are gone, so we had to kind of take the highway and go down and kind of come up again. It was far.
Trees are down. We will be crossing rivers to get to a town called Guado that's very much affected by the hurricane.
What we did and what many of us did is we set up our centers, and we did receive many patients, but these were patients who could walk and talk, and many needed refills or maybe had skin infections or mild respiratory ailments, stomach ailments, things like this, a couple of injuries, and that we were able to treat. But we knew that there were needs in homes. There were many people who were bedbound, homebound, so we began making these house calls. All the groups ended up doing that.
It stems back to when I was in nursing school. I've always wanted to give to the communities that were, you know, struggling, and so when this occurred, I'm from Puerto Rico, and as soon as my friend was telling me that we were able to go, I knew I just had to go and help my island and help those that really need help.
We have the ability to help whenever we can, and this is a perfect example on, you know, how we can do that. So that's definitely our motivation, and of course, you know, to help out our fellow Latins and our fellow Americans as well.
Our 4 teams in the areas that they went were able to figure out different ways. It was really kind of inventing as we go.
We have been averaging about over 100 patients per day. In one day we had 244 patients. So the number of people that our nurses and doctors are able to care for have increased.
One of the things that we found is, where do we go where people are going to pass through? You know, we can't be hidden somewhere. So the idea was to go to the public plazas or places in which there were events already, like events where there was food giveaway, toy giveaway, a community meeting, a central plaza that we know people pass through, different sites that people can get near. That was where we worked, sometimes under canopies. In some cases we worked within a community center where we were able to provide care. It was a sheltered area. What we did find, one common thing, people are resilient, but there was also a lot of depression. Every day we hear about a suicide. Imagine you lose your home, your life is built around credit, and there's nothing left, and what do you do now? What we found worked best was working directly with community leaders, community activists, or people within a community who knew what was going on, who were willing to say, let's go the extra mile, let's go here, let's go here, let's go there. And still the needs so far so far outweighed what we were able to give.
We are not only giving care to the patients, we're giving them emotional support. Some of us are giving monetary support. They need this. They absolutely need this.
There's a lot of need here. Obviously, there's been a lot of damage. And the people that needed help before the storm, it's just a greater need now after the storm. And getting to them, getting supplies, getting medications, for them to get to their doctors, their physicians, with so many leaving the island, it's important, for people to understand that there is a great need here. And we need to facilitate medication, supplies, and medical professionals getting to these people.
On the one hand, we were sad with the things that we saw. It was certainly traumatic. Some of us have links to the island, links to families, and seeing an elderly person in need might make us think about our own relatives or our own friends who are here who are also suffering, and we're not even able to be there for them. But there was also this joyous mood where we were interacting with the community in such a way where we could feel the comradeliness, the sense of community, the sense of hope, the sense of the future, of rebuilding, of recovering, that was, permeating the air while we were there. People feeling so grateful for the help we could offer, but also teaching us about things, letting us see that people, even in these throes of agony, are able to be positive, are able to think about the future, caring for other neighbors, people opening up their homes to others. It was wonderful for us to see that. It gave us a lot.
It's a strong union that they're able to rally and coordinate this. I think it's great. I think the union has done an amazing job.
A levantar, mi lindo Puerto Rico se va a levantar.